Do you remember watching Power Rangers in space, and when they morphed, you saw some text to the side when they morphed, words that meant nothing, words that sounded like mumbo jumbo because it probably came from the Sentai, words that the Japanese made up in English because they probably thought it looked cool. But what if I told you those words on the side were a reference to someone that no one knew until later down the line? I'll be telling you this in the video, so get ready, strap yourself in, because we're going to give you some cool Power Ranger facts. So I discovered this information years down the line from the Ranger Danger podcast when they were talking about the first 2 episodes of Power Ranger in Space on their podcast, and they brought up the text on the side. And for years I forgot about it. I rewatched In Space, but I never wondered what that text meant. I just thought it was weird stuff that came from the Sentai. And in a way it was the Sentai footage morph sequence. But who knew what this text on the side was actually referencing? And we're going to talk about it right now because it's going to blow your mind. So get ready. So when the Power Rangers morph in Power Rangers in Space, you see these text lines on the screen. That is, tighten up reality gangster, stigma through idiot hearing, keep frustration clear, patient open ahead, getting away with the lead, some distant memory drove, get the message, indiscipline all remains, wish double editing cover, and I can't read the last one, it's covered up. Now, to the untrained eye, that sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo that Toei made up and the writers and the producers of Megaranger made up to make it sound really cool by having English words on the screen, because when you see words like that all in capital letters in a Japanese show, it's gonna sound cool by default. But what it actually is a reference to a band in the late 90s called Electronic, and their album called Electronic. And those texts that you see on the screen, those words, those are references to their track listings for one of their albums named Electronic. So I'm going to bring up the track listing and the morphing sequence, put it side by side, and tell me if you see anything similar going on. Tell me if you see anything similar. Do you see anything similar going on? If you do, that means those track listings are referenced in Megaranger, or Power Rangers in Space. Now, I have no idea how this reference got into Megaranger. I'm guessing at the time someone working on the show was a big fan of the band and they wanted to pay some sort of tribute to the band that they really liked, because electronic music was really big back then. So they would have wanted to slip their own reference into the show, sort of like what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure does with their music reference for characters and attack names and stands. I'm sure that someone working at Toei wanted to slip their own little music reference into their show. But that pretty much wraps up the video. Special thanks to Ranger Danger Podcast for giving me this news, r/Power Rangers Reddit for giving me more information, and I'll see you guys next time on the next video. Peace out.